fuck with me, get cut across the cheek like you Murk Dog. Now big shout out to Murk Dog, we got hits on the way. Now the sticks in your face, cause my niggas pull up quick with the drop. I spit in your No. Good evening. Why am I laughing? What's good, SFJ Nation? How you doing? I was gonna say what's good, ladies and gentlemen, and SFJ Nation at the same time, so call them out as SFJ Nation. Shout out to SFJ Nation. Oh, the most goddess tier. I don't even like calling it a fan base that there is online. The strongest. We move as one. Let me start this off by saying SFJ Nation apparel is out right now. We have sold 30 pieces of apparel. 29, actually, 29. My goal is to sell 100. But my first goal is to sell 50. I want this to be the highest selling merch we got, because to me this is the most important merch, because this is like the Nike Just Do It shirt, you know what I mean? The mission statement with the Machops in it, nigga. Machop getting a percentage, you know what I mean? So, shout out to all y'all. I haven't checked where that Soulja Boy diss track is at yet. Toy Soulja, matter of fact, it's right here. Let me just check right now. Toy Soulja is officially, let's see where we at. Hold up, load up. 46,000 views. We only 4,000 away from 50 nifty United States. Now, this song didn't come out till what? 3 or something? So maybe we can hit it before 3 o'clock. I mean, before a whole day. So anyway, shout out to that. Make sure y'all are getting that SJ Nation merch. The link will be in the pinned comment. Shout out to everybody streaming Monumental, Illy Mode. I know a bunch of people hit me up like, yo, what happened to Screw Saturday? I'm having withdrawals. Where is it, Screw? We waiting, because this is going to be the last Screw Saturday for a while. I don't even think it's going to be Saturday. But this one is going to be epic, so I need it to be perfect. So, in the meantime, in between time, I had this little series back, before I had a lot of people checking out my page, before I had a bunch of fans, before anything. It was called My Experience With. And through this video series, I explained and broke down to people where I'm from and my career before YouTube. Because a lot of people be like, yo, Screw! Nigga, you blew up overnight, nigga. Technically, kinda, but it only took 10 years. Oh, that's a bar. To blow up overnight, it only takes 10 years. So, there's been, and a lot of people don't know, you know what I mean? That's why I get looked at as the underdog the most, which I got no problem with that. A lot of people don't realize that, you know what I mean? My credentials be better than most of these motherfuckers on this platform, no matter how many followers they got. You know what I mean? So I've worked with a lot of people. I've done a lot of things before YouTube. So I'm gonna go through them and talk about my experience with different artists, different tours, different things, and it's gonna blow your mind, some of the people that I've worked with. So basically, this is the Screwface Jean version of story time. And I remember DJ Ghost, that's when I first started watching Ghost. It wasn't reactions, it was story time. That's what made me really rock with him. And I was like, let me get my story out there, because people be thinking that I came up after I'm not Dax, you know what I mean? So today, we will talk about my experience with N9ne. N9ne. I have a couple of them. It's a great story. And so, the way I know if y'all is rocking with these, the way y'all should be rocking with them. If this hits 2,000 thumbs up, I will bring you my next story. And I can't decide if I'm going to do my experience with Hobson next, or my experience with Taylor Gang or Kendrick Lamar. Oh yeah, he said yeah, I said Kendrick. Yeah, I said Kendrick. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into it. The year was 2011. I had just graduated high school a year before. I was wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. I knew exactly what I wanted to be, and I was going after it. Even though I was from Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, growing up in Lincoln, Nebraska, there was no music scene. There was no rappers. When I was in high school, there might have been one. You know what I mean? They weren't really rappers. They just had like a song or something in Nebraska. When I graduated, 2010, well, before I graduated, everybody knew me as a rapper. And I took rap as serious as most people take law, medicine, whatever. I said that this is gonna be my college. I didn't go to the traditional college, but this, jumping right into the work field, will be my college. Shout out to White JJ Fish, because he was here for this part of the story too. So this is how it starts. I'm doing shows locally now. Y'all might have seen the first video, my experience with MGK. That story kind of blends in with this story a little bit too. M. Night Shyamalan twist on him. Anyway, so N9ne, first of all, let me get this out the way, is the GOAT of the Midwest. Is the greatest rapper to come out the Midwest. Do I mean lyrically? Do I mean album sales wise? Nah. I mean impact. Sorry, you peep the bounce? Impact, nigga. There has been no person, as someone who grew up in the Midwest and has been here his whole life. I mean, not his whole life, I was in Nigeria. But besides Nigeria, when I left the village, I went straight to Nebraska and been here since. I'ma tell you right now, N9ne is thing of legend around this part. I'm from Nebraska, he from Kansas. We next door, bruh. You know what I mean? We next door neighbors. You got sugar? You got some sugar tech? You got sugar, nigga? I'm making some fire-ass Kool-Aid, nigga. So anyway, N9ne is the beast of the Midwest. N9ne is a god out here. When he walks somewhere, when he'll show, and he cool as fuck. I've heard so many different N9ne stories before I met N9ne. It's crazy. Like I had some folks who was like, yo, N9ne would show up to our frat parties, bro. Just walk through the door and everybody would lose it and stuff, right? So I remember there's like this one show, I can't remember if this happened before or after, but I'm pretty sure it was before. There's this one show that I was doing with some local cats out of Kansas, and N9ne showed up, and it literally was like, the show is over. You know what I mean? Didn't get to meet him at that time. Now, I was grinding, coming up through the trenches of the music industry, or the underground in Nebraska, right? Which is an oxymoron, because there is no music industry out here. But I was doing my thing, like my thick thizzle, outside of here. And people were knowing me, and especially in here, people were knowing me. So, if you do or do not know, let me get back to the why MGK has to do with this. When MGK came up through when he was going through Nebraska, he was working with me and my team. He was working with me and my team. We did his 22nd birthday party, all that. So one of the many shows me and MGK did together in the beginning of his career was, y'all remember that tour MGK and N9ne went on that was like Guinness world records of how many shows on a tour or something like that, where they broke the record? I was on the Wisconsin show of that tour. Oh yeah, I was a part of history, man. Oh yeah. And White JJ Fish was there, he'll tell you. So I was opening for N9ne and MGK. Now this was the first time I ever shared a stage with N9ne. At this point, Tech was like the Loch Ness Monster. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would be like, yo, N9ne just came through here and granted us 3 wishes, dog. Like, the people had the most egregious stories of N9ne. And I hope, Tech, you watching this, bro, because I just need you to know that, and I know you do know, but even from Nebraska, even a kid from Nebraska, You know what I mean? You are the most impactful person to come through the Midwest. Not Eminem, not whoever you want to put. You are the most impactful, especially for underground art, especially for independent artists. And the reason why you're more important, I say, is because you pushed this all through the independence. Pushed independence first, and now look at the game. You was like a step ahead. You was on there with Master P and all these people. So I do my little show. I kill myself. I get up. Hey, y'all ready for MGK? Y'all ready for N9ne? Huh. Well, y'all gonna need to turn up for me if you ready for them, because they ain't even finna come out until it's turned in this motherfucker. Let's go! You know what I mean? Doing my little show, there's a warming it up, doing my thuds. By the way, Strictly for the Fans tour is in the process of being booked. Was I supposed to say that? Hey, yo, mysterious nigga off camera, was I supposed to say that? I said it. Strictly for the Fans tour is coming. Oh, God, that was a weird spin. Ah! It's coming. So, we was in Wisconsin turning up. And by the way, if you go to my experience with MGK video, that thumbnail is actually from that Wisconsin show. So I remember I did my thing, killed it, get off stage. MGK goes on, a body's it, a body bag. Like I told you, if there's one thing, Eminem is a way better rapper than MGK. Eminem will never be a better performer than MGK. Y'all can hate me, whatever. My bad, I put some lotion on my face. It was a little dry. But there ain't too many people who are a better performer than MGK. And if you watch an MGK show, you will know. And if after an MGK show you still think that, you might just be cheese eating. I'm gonna keep it real. You might be cheese eating, because that's one of the greatest performers that's ever touched the stage. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Performances. He's a rock star. So he goes on and I'm mesmerized. I'm watching MGK. Damn, that nigga nice with his, right? Does his thing, gets off stage. Now, I had never seen a N9ne show. All I had done is heard about N9ne shows, right? Tech hits the stage. Nigga, when I tell you the energy was different, I was like, oh, wait a minute, nigga. You know when you know, but you don't know? You know what I mean? You know when you know, but you don't know? As soon as he touched that stage, I said, oh. Before he opened his mouth, it was crazy. So I sit there, he's doing the Run 51, doing Mama Said Stop or this is before he had Fragile. This is before Fragile. This is before, like, Tech was doing the classics. I'm over here, and then he does his freestyle at the end of his verses, shows. I don't know if you've ever been to a Tech9ne show, but he's rapping and he has a machine gun going behind him. I was like, oh my God. So after that, I was like, yo, this is the greatest nigga to ever touch a stage, right? I thought MGK was, but this nigga something else, bro. Something else. So I didn't get a chance to meet Tech that day. I spent most of the day, or most of the chance I got talking to MGK, really. And we were talking about how we both used to work at Chipotle, whatever. So we driving back. I'm just sitting here just mesmerized. Like, golly, bro. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. People who could perform really well, like some of the gods of this stuff to me, if I tell you, you might be like, who, why them? And I'd be like, well, you a cornball. That's why you gave me that face. The greatest performers in this game that I've ever seen is MGK, N9ne, Waka Flocka, Travis Scott. These are the, if we're gonna put it lyrically, these are the Jay-Z, Eminem, Biggie, and Tupac of performing. These, like, I dare you to say a name of another person up there who can perform with these. Just go to these shows, bro. Go to these shows. Anyway, so we get back to Nebraska, right? Now, this is before I even had red cups with Dizzy Wright. This is before I had red cups. So, you know what I mean? I don't get to meet Tech. da-da-da, this, that, and the third. So what happens is, I'll tell my whole story with Funk Volume and Dizzy, right? That's a whole nother, and Hops, that's a whole nother experience. I'll save that for later. So I meet up with Funk Volume. Me and Funk Volume get super close, especially me and Dizzy. Like my team, like my old manager and Dame Ritter used to be, you know what I mean, first name basis, like they knew each other type stuff, right? That's why we were so close. So me and Dizzy do Red Cups. Red Cups hits World Star. Red Cups quickly becomes my first smash hit. First song to get a bunch of views, went crazy for me, right? Red Cups, and at that time I thought it was a bunch of views, but the views I be getting now be bodying that. It make me want to re-upload Red Cups on here. Put in the comment section if you think I should. It's on my Vivo if not. So, me and Dizzy got the Red Cups on. Me and Dizzy homies. He don't charge me at all. We shoot a video. He don't charge me for the video. We homies, dog. You know what I mean? We homies. We work together, right? And then there's this one special night that Dizzy came to Nebraska. And before he came, he said, yo, Scru, do you want to perform Red Cups? And I was like, nigga, if you ever ask me some silly shit like that again, of course I'm gonna perform Red Cups. Is you crazy? Let me spit on you for that, nigga. What do you mean am I gonna perform Red? Of course, nigga, I was gonna perform it on my set, nigga. So, I remember that could be its whole story. I remember Dizzy gets there. And y'all gotta remember, I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm from Nebraska. And it might sound cocky, it might sound arrogant, confident, whatever. But I've been living in Nebraska long enough to know that there was no music scene before me and my team started to do stuff. People really didn't care. People weren't doing major songs with people, weren't going and doing shows. Like, it just wasn't happening here. There was no rap scene. People didn't like it. So, because I remember, and people will try to lie, but I remember the first time I brought Dizzy Wright to Lincoln, and there was more people during my set than Dizzy's set, because people didn't know who he was. I remember that. Y'all go try to front on the flex like you guys was always a part of it. You know you wasn't, nigga. We got y'all hit. So, we get on stage, get to do it, man. I swear, I feel like, you know when Biggie was doing that, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? You know that famous performance? That's how I felt. I was like, man, this Red Cups performance about to go down in the history of Nebraska music moments in the music scene. So, we body that so hardcore. Dizzy goes, hey, lil' nigga, hey, nigga, you trying to go to Kansas and perform this song? You smoke a little weed, trying to go there. That's how Dizzy talk, dog. If y'all know Dizzy, that's Dizzy right there. By the way, hit me up, Dizzy. What's good, dog? We ain't talking a minute, dog. I'm like popping now. Yeah, I mean, let's talk a little bit. Yeah, reminisce over the times. Niggas get big and niggas, you know what I mean, lose contact with each other. But anyway, let me do my Dizzy impression. He goes, he always high. He goes, hey, lil' nigga, hey, nigga, hey, nigga. You trying to go to Kansas and perform this little song, yo? I was like, yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. So we hop on in the car and we go to Kansas. This is the first time I ever performed outside of Nebraska because I was going to come out during Dizzy's set. And my team, we were so amped in that car, bro. And it's crazy. I gotta say this. It's sad as hell, but I gotta say it. Like, the night that we did that show, I had a DJ. Like, my DJ at the time was named DJ Trinidad. And he's the one, and he kind of looked like Dame. He looked like he could be related to Damian Ritter now that I think about it. And that night, because he was with me from the beginning, like, and that night was the biggest moment of my career. And the next day we was driving to Kansas, we were wondering where Trinidad was, and Trinidad had actually committed suicide that night. And I know y'all gonna be like, whoa, where did that come from? It goes with this story too, because I remember we were so happy driving up there, then we get that news, And the whole car energy changed. Everything changed. And I say that to say, like, now that I look back at it, it's like, I don't know, I don't really be believing in angels or like things like that, but like maybe that's what that was, because the experience of that it was just weird, because like that was like the biggest thing we did, and that was like the next thing was gonna be even bigger. So we were like, man, we're gonna dedicate this show to Trinidad, bro. And that's why I try to tell people, like, my story is gonna be a hell of a movie, bro. The Screwface Jean biopic is going to be like straight out of Compton. It's gonna be crazy, bro. So he passed, and we gonna dedicate. It's like, man, we gonna dedicate this one to Trinidad, bro. Like, you know, and we was all hit hard, right? Hit hard. But I remember having conversations with Trinidad about like the next step and what we gonna do, and you know, now the Dizzy, like, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy, because I feel like that's the reason everything happened the way it did. So we pull up there. Rest in peace to Trinidad, bro. Rest in peace to Trinidad, dog. And we get there to the show, and we still just like hurting, bro. We hurting as a team. And I'm like, bro, Trinidad wouldn't want me to do a horrible show. Trinidad wouldn't want me to, you know, I need this to be as perfect as possible for him, in the memory of him. So I go backstage, off tops. Let's bring the mood back up. Off tops, I see Dizzy right back there, and I see Dizzy, Jaren, and a bunch of people backstage. A bunch of people, females, people who didn't need to be there. And the backstage, I promise you, was like, watch where I put my arms. The backstage, nigga, was about the size of my desk, bro. It was like this. It was like a hallway that was about this big, where my arms are, right? So I'm taking up more than half of it, right? People everywhere. And Dizzy looked frustrated. So, you know, I walk up to, I'm a little shy dude, you know what I mean? Like, I'm shy, so, and I be weird when I meet artists, especially, you know, like bigger artists. I be always feeling like they won't remember me, no matter how much we talk or no matter how long we talked or what we talked about, because it's happened. So, but Dizzy ain't that nigga. Dizzy woke up to me like, man, damn, dog, like, man, this shit rad, bro. And I'm like, what's up? What's good, Diz? What's good? Like, bro, I'm trying to smoke, bro. I can't find nowhere to smoke, bro. Because Hobson was around. You know, Hobson does not with that. With that, right? So he's like, man, this, that, and the third. So then he was frustrated because he wanted to smoke. I knew it. So the whole energy was just weird back there, right? And then all of a sudden, I noticed, like, remember, the hallway was full of people. I noticed it gets quiet. A bunch of people start looking this direction. I'm like, what we doing here? What's going on? What's going on? Then all of a sudden, I see this. Now, Tech ain't the tallest dude in the world. Let me put that out there. I see this dude walk out with like two big guys. Well, I don't know if they're two big. I think it was like one big guy and one regular, like his homie or something like that. It could have just been his homies. But it was Kansas, so he was straight. He wasn't even tripping, nigga. He walked in there. I see N9ne, N9ne, walk up in there, and the gravitas, the bravado. He walked in there just, and I was like, oh, shit, that's Tech. Now, mind you, I had done shows with Tech. I'm from Midwest, so I hear, you know what I mean? Every summer, you hear about 15 new N9ne stories about, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool. Tech is in here. Let me man down. Let me be cool, dog. And then I remember N9ne makes a B-roll. Is that a B-roll? Whatever. He goes right to me, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I got nervous. I was like, oh shit, nigga, what I do? Why you walking up to me, nigga? Why you walking up to me, Tech? What I do? And so he walked up to me, he goes, yo, what's your name? Cause at first I go, cause at the time I was working with this company, I was doing like photo shoots for them and they're sending me clothes. I don't know if y'all remember this clothing brand called 2 in the Shirt, Tits. N9ne was doing something with them also. Kind of like the Soulja Boy thing. N9ne was doing something with them also, and there's like a Nebraska leg of that. And the person with the Nebraska leg actually must have told Tech about me or something like that. So Tech asked me, he's like, yo, what's your name? And I go, Screwface Jean. I will never forget this. I go, it's Screwface Jean. And then Tech stops, rubs his little beard. He looks at me like, I love that name. I'll never forget. He looked dead at me, he says, I love that name. Yo, what's your number? Right? We change information. Now at this time, my whole crew trying to get a pic. Stay still. Hold that pose for 2 seconds. Click, got him. We trying to get whatever we can get, right? So that's why with this, the thumbnail of this is of that Kansas night. So we go out there, we do red cups, body it, and I'm on cloud 9, and I'm like, bro, I feel like Trinidad has something to do with Tech coming. Not only did Tech come to me, he walked straight to me like he was on a mission. Like, excuse me, like I gotta talk to this dude. Now, did anything come of that moment? No, me and him had a few text conversations, and I was supposed to send him a beat. I did. Didn't hear anything back. He a busy dude, I understand. But wait, there's more. So later on in life, N9ne and me are doing a show in Nebraska now. I think it's literally just me it's just me opening up for N9ne. So it's me and Tech, no MGK, right? And I remember before Tech came to Nebraska, he literally had an interview with the Lincoln Journal-Star, which is the biggest paper here, right? And in that thing, everybody was hitting me up. Oh, yo, Screw. Yo, have you read the paper? And I'm like, well, what you mean have I read the paper, nigga? It's 2019. I didn't read the fucking paper. What? Extra, read all about it. No, I didn't do that. So I went to the website and I peeped. And N9ne had literally done an interview damn near about me. He was like, yo, the biggest cat out here in Nebraska is Scru. I like to link up with Scru when he comes out here. I'm pretty sure the article's still up. If you type in Lincoln Journal-Star, N9ne, Screwface Jean, Google it or something, I'm pretty sure it'll pop up. So then I'm elated because I don't even think Tech remembers me because we had kind of lost communication, and this was like maybe a year or two later, and he wasn't really, he hasn't been responding to me no more and stuff like that. I was like, that's how the game works, you know what I'm saying? And then he says that, I'm like, man, that's super dope. So then when he comes to the show, we go straight to him, we talk. I give him these clothes I was making. I still got called NEB or DIE. I still got a trunk of them, by the way. If anybody wants those, I got a trunk of them. I mean, I'll let them go for the cheap. Anyway, so I give him one to hold and wear. We take a picture and we start talking again. And this whole time I'm trying to, bring back, like, yo, Tech, let's work, bro. But I'm like kind of afraid to say it, you know what I mean? Like listen, the SFJ Nation has given me a lot more confidence as an artist and as a person than I had before. You know what I mean? Because I know I don't really need anybody at this point. I just like to work with people because I got y'all. So I didn't have that confidence at that time, so I was too scared to ask him and stuff like that. Because I was pretty sure he was like, I don't think he want to work with me type shit, right? So that happens. I see Tech sets better than the first time I saw it. And I can't remember. Is there anything else? Yeah, shouted me out on the paper. I guess that, and then, that day was just that day. It wasn't nothing else. I still, to this day, and I say this every time I talk about Tech, I still got Tech's old number. And this was from years ago, right? I'm pretty sure it's not his number anymore. I've worked with a lot of people, bro. Not the one, but one of the people that I feel like I never got closure with, or we never got to the part of working that we were supposed to, was Tech. And it's like, being from Nebraska, that would literally be the most important song I've ever done to this day. Because I feel like that's a real representation of the old to the new. Not saying Tech is the old, because Tech is the forever in the Midwest. but it's more like somebody reaching down from Mount Olympus to touch somebody and make them like the new Hercules. Not to say like, I need him, but I'm just saying like, it's important to me. And I know there's probably and I know my fans rock with tech super hard too and know what that means, but like being from where I'm from and growing up under Tech N9ne's musical reign, because I'm from here, so like, it means a lot. Like the reason why a lot of artists travel where they travel or tour the way they tour is Tech N9ne. Tech N9ne is one of the biggest key players in music, and he almost doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, because without Tech N9ne, Kendrick Lamar might not have ever been a thing. Tech N9ne is always like 2 degrees of separation away from every major artist, and this is what I'm gonna say. This is my declaration, Tech. Now I know you coming to Nebraska. You coming to Nebraska on the 11th. You coming to Omaha. Whatever. I see there's a little bit of politics with that show. Whatever, Dax might be on it. Whatever. People think that I'm gonna have some sort of issue with Dax because they don't know who I am. They don't know I'm the most peaceful person. You know what I mean? That's cool. But we gonna work, Tech. Whether you like it or not, we gonna work. I am Nebraska's own. You are the Midwest own. We gotta come together and do something, bro. Tech N9ne, I appreciate everything you've done for this region. I appreciate everything you've done for hip hop. And through, degrees of separation, everything that you've done for me. Because even though we haven't worked together, you shouting me out in the paper helped in Nebraska. But that's why I say today, we need to do something so it can help in the world, right? Because Nebraska tends to have a thing where you can do something and then it just get washed away in the streams of time because people don't really care about hip hop as much here. Or there's not a big base that love hip hop like other places, right? They listen to it, they consume it. Tech N9ne, this was my experience with you. How do I rate my experience with you? Good. The one thing, the one little frayed hair, the one little hangnail. Scru and Tech. The world needs it. The world needs it, Nina. The world needs it. Shout out to Strange Music. Shout out to Funk Volume, or what was Funk Volume. Shout out to Dizzy Wright. Shout out to Hobson. And shout out to Tech N9ne. Now, if you guys like this story time, just me kicking back and telling you guys about my journey, so I don't gotta tell this story a million times to different people. If you like this, I need you to hit that thumbs up button. I need you to drop a comment. Would you want to see me and Tech N9ne work? I know there's some people right now freaking out like, nigga, they were that close to doing this. Scru and Tech were that close to doing this. Oh, no, it's gotta happen, nigga. Who I gotta call, nigga? Who I gotta call? You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I love y'all. If y'all want to see more of these, my experience with, I know MGK was a classic. I need this to get at least 2,000 thumbs up. 2,000 might be light. Let's get 2,000 thumbs up. And I need you to comment below. Would you want to see a Screwface Jean and Tech N9ne song? Huh? Mama say stop or I'm gonna cut up us. We out.
Shout out to Apparel Company for keeping me super drippy, super icy. Hey, yo, Big Draco, you had to get it. Listen, first off, you whack-ass rappers is getting murked off. You fuck with me,